Okay, God, honestly, before we get started, I'm just letting you know that if I do a worst of list for 2019 at the end of this year, okay, and I thought Rotten Tail was a shitty movie, okay? No, this movie, if I am going to do a list as it stands right now, this will be number one on that list. Hey guys, welcome to Happywax TV. So I had to subject myself to this pile of shit of a movie yesterday. And I'll tell you, if I could go back in time and if I had the choice to either watch this movie from start to finish or drink bleach and gouge my eyes out with a fucking spoon, I would absolutely drink bleach and gouge out my eyeballs. It was tough, man. This movie is an hour and 37 minutes. And man, I felt every fucking minute of this movie. Like, I can't even describe it. I did a review, I think last year, for a movie called Gehenna, The Isle of the Dead, I think it was called. And honestly, I thought that was one of the absolute worst movies I've ever seen in my life. And then I just did a review a couple weeks ago for Rotten Tail. You know, but this movie has both those movies beat. Like, this movie was fucking terrible. Anyway, I just want to read you something before we even get going here, just to show what a fucking shit show this whole series, because this is one of 3 movies that are coming out. Okay, so this, and actually let me just read this. So this is said to be part of a trilogy of zombie movies from director Witch Chaosa Anada. Okay, apparently this is meant to be the 3rd installment, but is getting a release on DVD first, which comes out in a couple of weeks. Meanwhile, the movie that's meant to be the 1st installment, called Dead Earth, and I saw the trailer for that movie yesterday, and it looks just as bad as this fucking movie, will be released next, which is getting a release in January. Okay, and then the movie that is meant to be the 2nd installment, called The Rider, hasn't even been filmed yet. Well, I'm just saying this right now. Okay, don't even waste your time filming this fucking movie if you watch this review, because I mean, judging by the trailer for Dead Earth, and then after watching this fucking movie, The Rider, like, don't even waste your fucking time. I cannot believe how shitty this fucking movie is. And the bad thing is, or the sad thing is I sit here all the time and defend lower budget movies. This wasn't really a lower. I mean, it had a budget of $1.3 million fucking dollars. I mean, that's not a ton of money in the grand scheme of Hollywood movies. But I just watched a movie and reviewed a movie called Cosmos, which was made on a 0 fucking budget. Okay, and that movie is fucking phenomenal. Okay, and then you get this movie made for $1.3 million. Where'd the fucking money go? What did you use it on? Did you have like the most expensive catering service known to man? Like, because it certainly wasn't pumped into this movie. Because, I mean, holy fuck. Anyway, okay, let me just get going on this, because I could ramble on about this movie all fucking day. So I already told you who the director is. Okay, and the other thing too that really kind of sparked my interest when I did see this trailer for this movie was the lead in the movie, called The Driver, Mark DeCasco, I think that's how you say his name. You'll recognize his face immediately because he was the main kind of bad guy from John Wick 3. They had that awesome fight scene in that glass kind of a building I thought, you know what I mean? Like, it was killer. You know what I mean? And so when I saw he was in it, I thought, okay, this is great. You know what I mean? Because he killed it. And man, I'll tell you, I have never seen, and not just him, I have never seen such one-dimensional, piss poor, shitty fucking acting. And all, like, honestly, I could just stop right now and go on the weekend and make a movie with my buddies and have it be better acted than the acting in this movie. There's a character in here called Gabriel. I shouldn't say his name, but it's Adam Zachary. Dude, honestly, stop acting. Okay? Or go get fucking acting lessons. This guy, I don't, like, even if he was told to act like this, it was fucking terrible. That was one of the most cringeworthiest performances I've ever seen out of anyone in any fucking movie. It was terrible. Okay? Like, oh my God. I actually wrote stuff down so I could fucking pick it all out because there was so much of it. Like, basically the synopsis of this movie is there's a zombie holocaust, okay? or Outbreak or whatever the fuck. So the first act, okay, is a ripoff, a blatant ripoff of The Walking Dead. It's got like I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore because it's a pile of shit too, but it's like, you know, they've got this compound made, you know what I mean, with the high walls and all this shit, and it gets overrun, okay? It gets overrun by these not zombies. Well, zombies come in when the doors open, but, you know, the bad guys, I guess, they overrun the compound for whatever reason, we don't really know. And the driver and his family have to, you know, leave along with all these other people, but most of them all get killed. So they call him the driver because he has this, I think it's a BMW, I don't know what model it is, but, and he's kind of a hitman. He's a hitman from back in the day. So he kind of looks after the compound, him and this Gabriel guy, okay? They're kind of like the leaders of this group. But anyways, first act, total fucking Walking Dead ripoff. I mean, the acting is so fucking terrible in this movie. Like, I don't even think cringeworthy is, like, you want people to die in this movie because they're so one-dimensional. And I swear, I say this sometimes, you know, you get these lower budgeted movies or these, you know, the lesser actors, and it looks like they're reading cue cards. Like, these people honestly looked like they got set up for a scene, okay? And then it was like, okay, you say this, this, and this, okay? And that's exactly what their line was, because it didn't seem like they studied their lines before they even started the fucking scene. It's just some guy was off screen saying, okay, say this is your line, and then they'd roll film, and then he'd say the line, and then that would be it. Like, it was pathetic. Like, I've never seen acting. I don't even think I've ever seen acting this bad in a movie before. And I'm not overreacting. Please, when this movie comes out, November 25th or 28th, please watch it. Okay? And then you can see that I'm not over-exaggerating as that. And it's not the fact that, it, you know, it's a low-budget movie, and I preach forgiveness for these movies. But this movie was made on a budget of $1.3 million. Like, surely you have to have some direction and skill and casting ability and fucking editing ability. The special effects in this movie, I could do special effects better on my Sony Vegas Pro when you know what I mean? That there's scenes in this movie in the second act, that most of the second act, the reason the movie's called The Driver is because most of the second act is him and his daughter just driving around trying to find this place. I forget what they call it, Havana or something like that. I'm not sure. It's some, you know, every zombie apocalypse has this magical place you have to get to where there's no zombies, and that's what they're trying to get to. Okay, so second act is him and his daughter pretty much just driving around, and then he doesn't want to tell her, but during the first act, when the compound was overrun and his wife got killed, you know, he got bitten, all right? So he has it covered up, and he's going through the slow effects of turning into a zombie while trying to drive and get his daughter to safety. And wow, like that, wow, what a story. What a fucking original fucking story. But there's scenes in the car, okay, that are green screened, okay? Like, it's usually the head-on shots, okay, that are green screened. And he's sitting there talking, and the steering wheel is not moving. Not moving at all, okay? And I actually rewound it a couple times because it was so fucking funny. Not moving at all, but in the rear view, or in the rear window, the fucking road's going like this. Like, I'm thinking, are you fucking kidding me? Like, kids, 10-year-old kids who make movies on their fucking home video cameras are stupid enough to have that happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where was the director on this? You know what I mean? The acting was terrible. Gabriel's acting was like fucking so cringeworthy. I mean, I almost couldn't watch it. I felt uncomfortable watching his performance because it was so fucking terrible. What else do I have written? I got stuff written down here. So there's a scene at the very beginning, okay, where the driver takes this guy out because he's going to shoot him because he was stealing water or something like that. Okay, so he gets out of the car. The guy looks like he's 30 years old. Sorry, not 20, 30 years old, okay? They get back to the compound, and the mom comes up and like, you know, it's like, oh, you killed my son. You know, she's all pissed off. She honestly looked like she was fucking 18. Okay, the mom looked like she was 18. The son looked like he was 30, maybe 35. Like, who fucking cast this movie? Like, did you even actually look at who you were casting for the different parts? Like, I'm like, oh my God. What else is here? The zombie sounds. This is the other thing that I thought was comical. Okay, for all you people out there that have played Call of Duty zombies, you know that the zombies have a specific type of scream or a yell, okay? And honestly, they just took the Call of Duty game, the sounds, and overdubbed them onto the zombie voices. Like it was laughable, man. I was laughing through the whole fucking thing. The gunfire, there's a ton of gunfire in this movie. Half the time, there's no fucking, they're going like this with the guns and there's no muzzle shots or nothing. And then the other half of the time, like I couldn't even, I just stopped counting. I stopped counting how many times they'd fire a gun and there'd be no sound. Like there'd be no gunshot sound. It was like, what the fuck, who edited this? You know what I mean? And then every single gunshot, no matter who was firing a gun or what gun they used, all sound the same. It's like they had one fucking sound bite and they had, like, this movie is fucking absolutely terrible. The zombies, okay, we're talking $1.3 million budget. The zombies looked like they went down to Walmart and spent, honestly, $20 on fucking kids' makeup. Like, it was fucking terrible. There was one zombie in this film, looked like he just had white clown makeup on, and someone took some black makeup and went around his fucking eyes. I'm like, are you kidding me? If that's supposed to be like an Easter egg or a nod to Dawn of the Dead, like, fuck you. Like, that was terrible. Like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, can this movie get any stupider or shittier? And I'm like, no, it just kept getting fucking worse and worse and worse. And it's like, oh, I don't know. You know what I mean? There was scenes where the daughter and the dad were supposed to be crying when they're having their sentimental. It literally looked like, you know, like the camera was panned in on the little girl's face and someone was like holding a fucking onion just out of camera shot. You know what I mean? So her eyes would water. I'm thinking, like, man, oh man. You know, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about this movie. You know what I mean? Like, normally I say watch them, just give them a chance. Actually, I want you to watch this movie because you're probably saying to yourself, this movie can't be that fucking bad, Myron. It honestly can't. And I'm telling you, I'm not over-exaggerating here, okay? In fact, I'm actually being kind to this fucking movie. This movie was fucking terrible. It ripped off The Walking Dead. The second act was absolutely terrible. Most of it took place in a car, and I get that. I've seen some pretty cool movies where it has like one-shot locations, but you have to have a fucking dialogue or at least good acting. We had neither, none, zero. Even in the compound scene, like it's fucking terrible. Like it's just, oh, okay. Anyways, and they're making 3 of these, but then they release them in the wrong order. Like, what the fuck? Are you guys like smoking crack or something? Like what? I don't understand it, man. So anyways, I'm done. Yeah, I know. My computer is probably saying I'm done too. Listen, I've got a ton of good movies that I'm watching and working on to review right now to keep the good movies coming in. And I get it. Every once in a while, you get a pile of shit. And I'm telling you right now, as of right now, this is my worst movie, not only of the year, but it's in my top 3 movies of like I've seen ever. Like this movie was, I fucking, oh, I can't believe I was actually pissed off that I had to sit through this fucking movie, and I kept looking at my phone and my watch thinking it was getting closer to the end, and I was like, fuck, it's not even half over yet. You know, it's just, oh God. Like, honestly, everybody involved, everybody from the director, from the cast, to the editing, to everything. You should be ashamed of yourself that you were a part of this fucking movie or even this franchise, because it is fucking terrible. Okay, anyways, I'm done. With that being said, I have lots of good movies coming up that I will review, and we'll get back on track, and we will go cleanse ourselves in a bath of bleach and maybe disinfect our eyeballs to get this pile of shit out of us, out of our system. But again, like I always say, this is just my opinion. And yeah, the movie's called Driver, and you know, you should watch it when it comes out on the 25th or the 28th. Yeah, just so you can see that I'm not over-exaggerating. So anyways, I've rambled on way too long, more than this movie should ever fucking deserve, because it is just a pile of shit. So to give it a rating, I'd give it a 1. I would give it a 1, and the only reason I'm giving it a 1 is because it had a fucking ending. Okay, and that was it. Because the movie ended. That's why this movie gets a 1. If not, it would have a 0. It was just, I don't know if that makes sense, but this movie doesn't make fucking sense either. It is absolutely terrible. Do not, well, yes, I was going to say don't watch it, but no, please, watch it so you can see I'm not over-exaggerating. $1.3 million budget. Are you fucking kidding me? and Cosmos was made on a zero budget. Like what? Honestly, I'm looking right at you, the director and Lionsgate and the fucking whoever sat in this boardroom and said, "Oh yeah, this is it. This is the final cut. Let's put it out. This is it, man. Stamp it. Done." Like, were you guys smoking fucking crack? Like, I would love to be in that boardroom just so I could slap every single one of you in the face saying, "What the fuck are you guys looking at? This movie is fucking terrible." Anyways, I'm done. Movie's called Driver. Comes out, I think, November 25th or 28th. I don't know, and I don't care. Watch it if you want, just so you can see I'm not over-exaggerating. And stay scared, guys. But I swear to God, if you see this movie, make sure you have some bleach and a fucking spoon for your eyeballs sitting close by, because you'll probably have to do it before it's over. My God.